Hello, space dogs! Happy Wednesday! Good to see you all again. All right. Yeah, no weird stories to tell about today. Assuming I have the microphone on. Can you hear me? Yes? Assuming I did everything correctly and didn't screw something up, then yeah, this is going well for a change. I mean, I guess I didn't schedule until like half an hour before the stream, but I made my time, right? Hey, boss battle in the chat. Hello. All right. Hello to Classic Boy and Jay Palmer and Regen and Glitched and Adrian. Good to see you all back. Oh man. So gosh. I guess it's been what since last Friday I had the party stream, and so we're back now for regular what do you call regular Prime 2. We got started with the with all the co-op chains, and then we're gonna go. I'm gonna do what I've been doing this whole time, which is just playing through all of the new songs for this game. And I looked right before the stream. Mwah, mwah. Hello, Dustin. Anyway, there's my train of thought. Leaving the station. Bye. Oh wait, I don't even have to. I have. I forgot I have a real train whistle. I don't have to just make it with my mouth. I guess technically that's still making it with my mouth, but whatever. Anyway, hey, Tiramazi. Let's see. So, news and updates. Classic Boy's asking about Double X. Double X, I think, has moved to a remote possibility. Brandon is working on a way to get HD games to run on this monitor. So if that is possible, if that ends up working, then the one hurdle, the one technical hurdle that we have to clear to be able to play Double X will be gone. Then, of course, the issue becomes obtaining the game, which I can absolutely just go and buy. But Classic Boy was mentioning before the stream that there's been a new game announced for 2023, and here, actually, let me just read you. So if you go on the Pump It Up official website, piugame.com, right? I would show this on screen, but I'm not that cool. Or at least I just don't have it set up to do that right now. But yeah, on the 11th of November, so last month, they released this message. It says, "The notice of Pump It Up new version. Hello, pumpers. We are currently working on a new version of Pump It Up that you waited for. It is planned to announce the progress of development in the first half of 2023, and we will do our best to prepare in the same manner you expected. Thanks." So that's some awkward English right there, but you know, that's fine. But yeah, it sounds like there's going to be a new game next year, but it doesn't. There isn't like a date to it yet, or anything, any real details. So I guess we'll find out. But Anyway, what I was saying is, as far as Double X is concerned, I haven't bought it because up to this point I have not been able. Like, I knew I was not able to play it. Yeah, Adrian, it not only needs widescreen, it needs HD. I think minimally 720p, but probably 1080. So I have actually just connected my my MK9 to an external monitor and played even like Prime 2, Prime and Prime 2, and it comes up in 1080 and it works fine. It looks good, but this monitor that's in the cabinet won't do that. At least not without a little bit of finagling, and that's where Brandon comes in. So we'll see if we can make that work. And yeah, before people tell me to mod my cabinet and replace the monitor, I've said a million times I'm not doing that. But if we can make it work on this monitor, okay, I'll try. The thing is since they've announced a new version for 2023, I'm kind of reluctant to spend, whatever it is, $1,200 or $1,500 or whatever the price is on a Double X kit that, is probably going to have online service for 2 or 3 months before the new version comes out. So, in fact, hold on, let me look here. I was just noticing in the news, there was another message here. What does it say? Oh, no, never mind. It said service termination notice, but that's for Pump It Up M, which we know. But anyhow, so yeah, I'm reluctant to spend that kind of money on a game that has such a short remaining lifespan. So I've sent a message out just asking if there's any kind of, since they've announced the new game, if they would be willing to give any kind of discount. I don't care if it's a discount on Double X or if it's a discount on 2023, the new version, or something like that, or pay this amount, pay $2,000 and we'll give you Double X now and we'll give you 2023 when it comes out. Anything like that. I basically, it's just between. It's just. I don't. Like I said, I don't want to invest in a game that has a known death that is soon. Because it's a lot of money to sink into something like that. If that's what's going to happen, if the answer is no, probably what I would do is just wait until the new game comes out, buy that one, and then go and look for a Double X kit used somewhere else. Hopefully at a used discounted price, basically. Yeah, Regen. I realize. I mean, Double X has been around a lot longer than they had intended. In fact, I don't know. Anyway, VCam, yeah. Well, I mean, that's fine too. If they, if Andamiro wants to discount Double X kits after the new game comes out, that's fine. But that means that I'm still waiting for the new game before I make a purchase. Basically, what I'm trying to do is accelerate that to get Double X now, and then go ahead and getting the new version when it comes out. But I like I said, I have no idea what they're gonna do or what they're gonna say. Obviously, it's fully within their rights to just say no, and then I'll be like, okay, well, that's fine. I'm trying to give them money. I'm trying to limit the amount of money I'm giving them, given the circumstances, basically. For what it's worth, you think I'll be plenty occupied with all the mixes I have now? I mean, you're absolutely right. I think I've been doing this series, starting with First Dance Floor, and working my way all the way through the games, and I'm just now here at Prime 2. I think I started this series in May of this year, so June, July, August, September, October, November. Now we're into December, so I've been doing this for like 7 months, playing Pump It Up, and I mean, you're absolutely right. It's great. There's a ton of content here. It's not like I'm at any loss for stuff to play. In fact, that was one of the reasons why I've not really been that. I've not really been that motivated, I guess, is that's not really quite the word that I'm looking for, but I haven't been making a huge point of trying to get double X. Would I like to have it? Yes, of course, certainly. When I play it in the arcade, it's great. I enjoy it. But like you said, I've got plenty of Pump It Up to play without having it. So yeah. So anyway, basically what I'm getting at is if we can get HD video to work on this screen, I'll go ahead and I will start looking into getting double X and or 2023, for lack of a better name to call it, when it comes out. I'm just trying to see if there's any way that I can get if there's any way that I can either get a discount on one of them, and preferably if I can get a discount on double X now, so that I can play it while it's still current, and then get 2023 when it comes out later. But I don't know. So I'll keep you updated on how that goes. Let's see, other news. I guess since Tiramazi's here, he can tell you what's going on with UB. So I think OG U-Beat has gone from a magic box, and that's it. Oddly enough, I am vaguely I am vaguely curious about this. It looks delightfully jank. But all right, yeah, I haven't looked at anything other than what you've sent me, so I won't spoil myself. But yeah, I guess we're gonna add that to the list. But the VOD would get DMCA'd to the moon. Actually, the moon might be a good place, because I was just talking about this the other day, that we so I used to work for a television production company, and we had like a standard release form, like a talent release, so that whenever we would go to, record somebody or interview somebody or whatever, we'd have them fill out a release. And basically the release was saying, it was pretty standard, but it was basically like, you agree that we can use your image and likeness and, whatever we record today, right, in our production, Sometimes it was like a specific production, sometimes it was a broad open release. It was like just like whatever we decide, right? And that we will not pay you any more money than we've already paid you, which oftentimes was nothing. Like, because basically it was just like, you know, you're waiving any future royalties is basically what it came down to. But the language in that release kept getting broader and broader and broader over time, because I can remember early on they added the phrase "in perpetuity" to the release, which basically means forever, right? So like now I'm releasing these rights to you forever, right, for an indefinite amount of time. And then they added the word worldwide. You know, so now it doesn't just cover the United States, or it doesn't just cover Indiana, it doesn't just cover the United States, it covers anywhere in the world. But like one of the very, very, very last iterations of the document that I saw, they changed worldwide to throughout the universe, which I thought was the most hysterical fucking thing ever. You know, I was like, are we like selling ads on the moon now, or what the hell? Like... I mean, but I guess that's true, you know. You know, leave it to the lawyers, right? If you don't specify, then you assume that it's okay, right? So yeah, I guess we just run the VOD on the moon, where all of the copyright laws don't apply, and you know, F you. I'm just gonna monetize this all day long. So, anyway, that was there's my dumb story for you for today. But anyway, but Glitched, I imagine that is something of a spoiler for Magic Box. So not knowing anything about Magic Box other than that it's like a Chinese UB knockoff. But knowing that it's Chinese and knowing how fast and loose they play with copyright laws, based on your statement, I'm going to guess that there's a shitload of licenses, and we'll just throw licenses in air quotes there, right? A shitload of licensed music, whether it has been licensed or not. So that's my guess is what that means. 34 kilobit MP3 YouTube downloads. Wow. So what you're saying is it's gonna sound even worse than DDR Extreme. That's impressive, actually, if that's the case. About 90 times worse. Wow, that is impressively bad, actually. Because if y'all have not listened to DDR Extreme, like in a quiet room, it's pretty terrible, actually. Like the music is so badly compressed to cram it all on that disc. It is not good. Like when you're in a loud arcade and there's a bunch of other noise going on around, like you don't really notice. But yeah, if it's quiet, it sounds like hot garbage. But anyway, all right. Well, I guess. Should I get into this? I looked right before the stream. It looks like there are 79 new songs, which I imagine is going to be probably 3 streams to get through. I'm going to try. I noticed like getting up to number 29. Number 30 was Bang Bang Bang. Big Bang, Bang Bang Bang, right? So that looked like the start of the K-pop section. So if I can maybe get through 29 today, I'll be ready for K-pop It'll be Prime 2 K-pop Paradise, right? On the on the next stream, but on what folder? So conveniently, Adrian, all of the recent games have been ooh, excuse me. Got the like hiccup burps going on here. But they've all had like a new tunes folder, so they conveniently sort all of the new stuff for me to find, since that's what I've been playing on these streams. Since I don't even remember where it happened. I remember in the very beginning of the streams, like the games were real small, so it's like, oh well, we might as well just play everything. But then at some point, I was just like, okay, well let's play all of the new stuff, because that was still a relatively small amount, and I think I just kept doing that ever since. So, I wasn't necessarily intending for this series to be like, completionist in that regard. When I set out to do it, I was intending it to be completionist in like the games. I wanted to play all of the games, but I wasn't necessarily expecting to play all of the songs. But I guess that's what's happening anyway. So cool. Like I am mad about it. But all right, let's get started.
Hello, everyone.
I like how it's been starting like in the middle of the new tunes for some reason. Makes it have to go all the way back a ways. So here we go, number 1. It's like if I go one past that.
J music.
Yeah, now I'm into the J music
Me
folder.
tunes. All tunes.
Alright, 120, let's
All tunes.
3x. And how about start out with a chill level? 7. What a strange ending. It's like a late stinger.
Yeah, I knew you could do it. Next stage.
Let's see if we can kick this up to an 11. Second song out of the gate. Is this a half double? So far. Yeah, I didn't see any outside corners, so half double it was. Is this the Prime 2 note skin? I assume so. I didn't pick anything else.
Wow!
So it's the default.
Record.
Regen, you feel like you say this every game, but man, this game has a good set list. It really does. And you're right, they kind of all do. That's the thing for me when I was saying a few streams ago that, you know, Pump has been I've enjoyed Pump over DDR for a long time now, but especially as we get into like the more modern games, so, you know, in the last 10 years, I mean, I feel like both of them, you know, maybe the songs have dropped off a little bit, but I feel like DDR has dropped off quite a bit more than Pump, you know. As far as like Double X compared to like Ace 3, I love the music in Pump way more than I do DDR. I mean, not that DDR is bad, but it's not as fun to me for sure. And then like just the way the steps work, you know, that's the part that really won me over to Pump. It's just like the step patterns are more intricate and more fun, and, you know, like more fun to do, involve a lot more motion, which is what I really love about these games. So I'm definitely here for that. Like I said, that's what got me liking Pump more in the first place. But as we get further and further down the line, like, that is just solidifying. I mean, I still like DDR, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot more of that is nostalgia-driven than actual like modern content driven. Ooh, that was fun. Hope seems like a kind old friend compared to what you've been playing lately.
Game over.
All right. Let's just keep rolling.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I knew you could do it! Next stage!
Oh boy. Well, BitDecay, what were you saying about accessibility? At least in the doubles, starting with 14, that's a little rough. But you know, it's a thing, I guess, right? Let's see what the 11's like on single. I don't think I'm ready for 14 right now.
너의 마음이 나를 잊고 있었던 나의 감정이어도 지내 묻혀져 있던 희망이 나를 눌러 이빨에 손끝을 비게 하네 허무한 속에 꺾였던 이들과 영원한 속에 묻혔던 이 맘들이 불어난 여섯 떨어진 감정들을 다시금 이어올리게 하네 끝없이 이어진 상처들과 끝없이 이어진 인연들이 날 잊고 나에게 주어진 시간들이 물밀듯이 다시 남겨진 희망들과 빗발의 마음이 다시 몰라 아줌마의 미운 기억들과 홀로 남겨뒀던 상처들이 만나려 양지로 올랐던 위선들이 누더락으로 다시 떨어지네
Yeah, I knew you could do it! Wow, new record!
Yeah, BitDecay, I definitely checked out on 2DX difficulty
Stage!
long ago. I would say probably honestly like when they first went from the flashing 7 being the highest to introducing 8s. It's like there's a few 8s I can do, but I was just like, okay, I'm good. That's as much as I care to ever play. And one of that goes up to like 14 now or 12 or I don't even know. See, that's how much I haven't tried. I don't even know what the top of the scale is anymore.
All true, beyond you!
12? Yeah. I don't even try. Pump, I can do like some 14s and maybe a tiny number of 15s. And what does the scale go up to now? Like 22 or some ridiculous number? Just like FU score. FU rating. I hope you're 20 years old and consume 24,000 calories a day. I might consume 24,000 calories a day, but I definitely don't. I should say, I might eat that many calories, but I don't actually use them. It just becomes fat. But I'm definitely not 20 years old anymore either. Although, I'm pretty sure most of the like new super challenging charts are all like designed with you using the bar in mind, and since I don't use the bar, I'm sure that's a significant handicap.
New record!
Hump goes to 28. Jesus Christ.
Game over.
Yeah, so Regen, you're talking about the learning curve in 2DX. I always like to, so like you talk about the learning curve, right? Where it's like, oh, it's kind of easy, it's getting harder, harder, right? And you're talking about like how steep that curve goes, right? Where it's like, can you master skills while you're down here before it starts to get, you know, too high for you? I always like to refer to the 2DX learning curve as the learning wall. It doesn't curve up gradually. It just kind of like goes out a little bit and then it just goes straight up. So you're just like boom, 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 just running into this wall continuously. And you either decide that you learn how to make a grappling hook and you just like, you know, you throw it up and you see if you can scale this wall, or you give up and you go away. That's how I feel about 2DX. It's like it is so hard from the get-go that you just have to decide, I want to play this game and I'm going to get okay at it at least, no matter how hard it is and how long it takes, right? And or you don't, and that's valid too. But just yeah, like I sucked for a very long time at 2DX, where it's like, well, of course I started playing 2DX before there was a beginner mode too, right? And so you would be like, you know, okay, I'm gonna play this song is rated 1, you know, and it's like, you know, like 511 is rated 1. It's actually not that easy, especially the little alternating notes, you know, because of 2DX giving you ouch damage, right, for getting it wrong. If you get that out of sequence, you know, and you're doing it the opposite way, you know, so like right left instead of left right, so to speak, right, you're not only missing, but you're also getting extra damage for hitting the wrong thing. So it's like, boom, your bar's done, right? And of course 2DX you have to have 80% to pass, so good freaking luck, right? But yeah, curve for 2DX goes a full 90 degrees. Yep, that's basically how I feel about it. Regen, you realize you hated grinding against walls. Yeah, I think that's how I got too. It's like I can play 2DX, and I can play 6s and 7s and maybe the occasional 8, and I'm having a good time. If I try too many 8s, or if I try a 9 or anything higher, it gets real old, real frustrating, real fast. and I'm like, I'm not having fun anymore. So it's just like, nah, I'll just kind of chill out and play easier stuff. And very much like Pump, I mean, shit, what is 2DX is in its 30th game now or something like that, right? So there is a butt ton of content, so there's so many songs to play that you really they're just by law of averages there's gotta be something in there for just about everybody at this point. So it's insane. Now you enjoy playing 2DX for timing because it's a thing you can constantly improve at. Yeah, when I play it, I just play it. Honestly, I think I play it. It's kind of like an interactive jukebox. I'm really just kind of listening to the music, but I get to be a part of it too, so that's cool. I don't even care about score or whatever. I just try not to fail. I'm doing fine. Counting every song in every game, it's like 1,900 songs. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I didn't realize Sound Voltex had gotten bigger than Beatmania. I guess it doesn't surprise me because I know, doesn't Sound Voltex do a lot of like don't they take like submissions for that, or didn't they at some point? So there's a lot of songs that like they didn't have to produce themselves. Plus it's not key sounded, so that's a lot of work that they don't have to do, to break it up and make. Obviously they still have to make the charts, but they don't have to make them. They don't have to, make all of the samples and all that kind of stuff. So I guess it would make sense that Sound Voltex would overtake Beatmania in that regard, just because they pulled content from more places, and making the content should theoretically be easier. So your main grind at the moment is Osu Taiko. What? So I know what Osu is. What is, and I know what Taiko is. What is that together? Right, bit decay. That's exactly what I was saying. Since the game is not key sounded, that's a lot of work that they don't have to do. Instead of a drum, you play like 4 keys. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, with Sound Voltex, they don't have to do the work of getting a tracked version of the song where they can take out whatever instruments or lyrics or whatever, and break those up into key sounds and then map them all out on the chart so that they play correctly and all that stuff, right? All they have to do is just boom, the song's in the game, cool, make a chart. We can throw some effects on some of the, knobby things and maybe some of the effector buttons or whatever, and you're good, right? Like, I'm not trying to sell that short as being not work. It is work still, but it is a hell of a lot less work in my estimation. So I would imagine that, like, the production time getting a song into 2DX properly and getting a song into Sound Voltex is much shorter. So, you know, they could probably do 2 or 3 songs of Sound Voltex in the time it takes them to do one 2DX. So, given that, I feel like, yeah, they can probably produce a lot more new things for it all the time. Bit Decay, that's up to you. If you wanna announce, go right ahead. If you want to keep it for a surprise, that's fine too. I will say if you announce, I'll have something to say about it here in just a second. But otherwise, that's up to you, because that's your gig. I'm just along for the ride. But I'll let you think about that, and I will play the next game.
Hello, everyone.
Oh wow. Holy moly. So this starts at an 11. Rough. Well, I'll try it, I guess. Yikers. Break time. Definitely running out of gas there at the end. Otherwise, it was pretty fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
Just a bit of a stamina buster for an old dude such as myself.
Next stage.
Nice Windows sound. I didn't even hear it. What was it? I think that was my fault. I had something open. Oh, I hope it wasn't a USB disconnected. But maybe it was either part of the song or it was a notification coming on my PC because I left something open underneath. But whew. Yeah, it was probably a message. I think somebody messaged me and I just didn't. I accidentally left some programs running in the background. And I have the I have desktop sound open, you know, so I can
Hit me!
do things like that.
It's party time!
Oh shit, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I knew you could do it. Wow, new record. Next stage.
Cheap plugs? No, I don't mind cheap plugs. I don't mind cheap plugs from my viewers and friends. I do mind cheap plugs from spam bots and porn sites. Like, y'all can fuck off with that shit. So what? Okay, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog as I recall. That is like a typing lesson because that sentence uses every letter in the English alphabet. So I think I can remember that from typing class. Given that typing class was, I don't know, 30 something years ago now. I want to be the lazy dog right now, not the quick brown fox. Because I'm tired. This feels like moderately lazy dog at least. I want to get jumped over. I don't want to do the jumping. How's that? Cute. Not a porn bot. Excellent. TM.
Yeah, I knew you could do it. Wow, new record. Game over.
Bit Decay, you think I'm one of 4 people I've known the longest in the rhythm game community? Well, given that I think I've been a part of it since before it was really considered a community, I would guess yes. I am quite old, and I've been doing this a very long time. That is for sure. Oh yeah, I've seen your many iterations. I am very much, I feel like, and this isn't a judgment, by the way. This is just an observation, because, like, what you do, I think, is more like what most people do. What I do happens to be more like what Belinda does, although we both arrived at this kind of separately before we even knew each other, and that is to just be literally ourselves online. You know, like, straight up, just our name, and just be who we are. But, like, I haven't used a nickname online. Gosh, I don't know that I've used a nickname on the internet, really, maybe ever. I think I've always been just some form of my name. You know, either like Brian Ho 25, which was definitely not the first, or just Brian, or Brian Ho, or, you know, B Ho, or just Ho sometimes. I'm that on a few places, but yeah, I can't really think of any place that I've ever used a nickname. Gosh, I think maybe the closest, I think maybe back on like the DDR Freak forums, I think I might have been Ho Man, but I don't even remember for sure anymore. But again, that's really just kind of another form of my name, so yeah. And like I said, that's not that is not any form of judgment on my part. It's just what I've always done. Honestly, it's probably because I'm just not really that creative in that regard. Also, I just don't care. But so, but yeah, and I don't really, I don't think I really have, I don't really feel like I have an online persona either. Like, if you meet me in person, I'm basically this way. Now, I will say that I am interested in a lot of things other than music and rhythm games. And if you meet me in person outside of the context of music and rhythm games, I am very likely to talk to you about anything else. And in fact, on my other streams that I'm not playing music and rhythm games, I would be delighted to talk with you about anything else. Wink, wink. So, but, yeah, obviously, like, this type of stuff has been a huge part of my life for the last 20 years. Probably a bigger part of my life, you know, in the first 5 or 10 of that 20 years. Oh shit, actually, now that I think of it, 22 years. But, and then it's becoming and then it kind of took a back seat, or, you know, maybe even like a rear facing third row seat in the wood paneled station wagon place in my life for the next maybe 10 years after that. But in the last, like, probably 2 or 3 years, it's kind of, you know, moved back up maybe into the passenger seat at least. I don't know if it's in the driver's seat, but you like these car analogies? I don't know, I'm just making this shit up on the spot. But I just wanted to evoke the vision of the rear-facing seat in the back of a station wagon. Has anyone ever ridden in such a thing? I have. Like, I'm pretty sure those things are actually illegal at this point. I mean, it's not that we don't see them because, like, they fell out of fashion. I think I don't think you're allowed to make that anymore. What is a car? Excellent. You know, Daniel, so honestly, that would be great. Like, you know, I love the freedom of having a car and being able to just go, like, if I want to go someplace, I can just do it at any time that I want. But you know what I don't actually like that much anymore? Driving. I would love to be able to let somebody else drive me places, you know. If I could take a bus or, you know, or call a car or something like that for, you know, cheaply, I would love that. But that is not a great option. Certainly, public transportation where I live is absolute garbage. It's basically non-existent. In my town, there is a bus, and it is reasonably priced. I want to say it's like $3 a ride or something like that, but it only runs, I think, Monday through Saturday. I don't think it even runs on Sunday. It might. But even if it does, I think it only runs like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it does not have any route. So you have to schedule a ride in advance, 24 hours in advance. So basically, you know, I would have to call now and say, like, hey, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I would like to go down to Walmart or something like that. And they'll be like, okay, we'll be there to pick you up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that something exists at all because, you know, I'm sure that some people absolutely rely on it and, you know, benefit from that. And I think that's great. But as far as, you know, like, just general convenience is concerned, that's pretty terrible, right? And then if I want to go, like, out of my town down to, you know, down to the city, like down to Indianapolis, I want to say the nearest Indianapolis bus stop to me is probably a 30-minute drive from my house. And that's if I was going to drive there myself. And of course, like, if I've gotten in my car and driven 30 minutes, why am I taking the bus now? Like, I'm just going to finish driving to wherever it is I'm going. I'm not going to park the car and then, you know, take a bus, right? That doesn't really make a ton of sense. So, yeah, like, public transportation here is pretty pathetic. unfortunately. It's kind of that way, I feel like, in most places in the United States. I think part of that is just because the U.S. is so freaking big, right? And spread out, and there's a lot of empty space between places. But there are a few big cities, and even some smaller towns, I think, that have good public transportation. Mine is just absolutely not one of them. Because I will, like, when I was in college, I did an internship in Alexandria, Virginia, which is a city right outside of Washington, D.C. And I was there for, I think, 3 months, and I think I drove 3 times in 3 months because I just didn't have to. Because I could literally, like, come out of my apartment, cross the street, and grab a bus, that arrived, like, about every 15-20 minutes. I could take it down to the train station, and I can get basically anywhere in the metro area from there, right? So it's like, cool. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if I had that here, I might not own a car. Like, fuck it. Like, who cares, right? I'll totally just do that because it's easier. I loved it, but yeah. I mean, I will say that since I got a new car this year, it is kind of fun to drive again. Like, it's a nice car, and I enjoy driving it. But again, I'm definitely not in the, like, getting there is half the fun camp. Getting there is getting there. I want to be there for whatever it is that I was wanting to do that hopefully will be fun. But the getting there is not, I don't know. Plus driving, even if you're in a car, even if you enjoy driving the car, that still means you have to be on the road with other people, and who knows what the fuck they're gonna do, right? So, like, that's a lot of stress that I just don't wanna, like, deal with. If I don't have to. But Jimmy, the feeling of public transportation. Yeah, Daniel, gosh, you have those in Germany. They're collection taxis. Oh, you mean like a bus that you have to schedule is called a collection taxi? Interesting. Oh, called collection taxi. Yeah, that makes sense. I think, kind of. But yeah, and of course, we have like Uber and Lyft and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yes, you can call a traditional taxi to my house. Of course, it's going to cost you a frickin' fortune to go anywhere. And we have Uber and Lyft, of course, but it can be real spotty. Like, I live just far enough out of like the dense city area that getting someone to come to me is not a guarantee necessarily. Fortunately, I can get DoorDash and Grubhub and all that kind of stuff, so I can get food delivered, no problem. But getting a ride somewhere, oftentimes you gotta wait a while, and the prices could be quite high. So yeah, so I have a car, because in Indiana, that is really pretty much the only way that you really get around. I don't like it, but gotta deal with it, I guess. We're definitely a roads place. We love our roads. They love making roads bigger. They love tearing out railroad tracks to make roads bigger. That's like the Indiana way, I think. Yeah. So, Daniel, I wouldn't say I live really in a remote place. I mean, I'm definitely not. I'm not like out in the sticks, so to speak, right? I don't live out in the country. Like I can drive. I can drive probably 5 minutes and get to like a convenience store. I can get to a gas station. There's probably about 4 or 5 different restaurants that I can get to in about a 5-minute drive. Make it 10 minutes, and it gets even bigger, the number of things that I can get to. Like I can get to my personal, quote unquote, like city center, town square, or whatever, if you want to call it that, in about 10 minutes from my house. So I'm not like way far out. The issue is that because everything is built around roads here, like almost nothing is walkable. Like there's no place that I can really walk to from my house. I can walk to the park. There is a park about a 5-minute walk from my house, and it's nice. Like it's a nice big park. You know, they've got like they've got a little beach area. They've got a clubhouse. They've got a bunch of, you know, like picnic shelters. There's a disc golf course. Like it's a nice park, and it's, you know, 5 minutes from my house, walking even, which is great. But you know, that same that same stuff that I was saying, you know, like the convenience store, the gas station, you know, restaurants that are like a 5-minute drive from my house, those are probably more like a 15 or 20-minute walk from my house, and involve crossing some roads that are, let's just say, not pedestrian friendly. Now, we actually have a decent number of trails that have popped up around here, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm getting way off on a super tangent here, so let me, actually I'm about out of drink here. I'm going to go grab another drink real quick, and get back to the game. I guess I will push the I'll push the BRB just because I can. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Alright, and I am back. That didn't take too long, right? Daniel said, you got lucky with this place. Supermarket 5 minutes away. Same with a bus stop and a discount return stock shop. You can like B-grade stuff. Oh, like imperfect produce and meats and stuff. No, that's cool. That's super cool. I'm a big I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff with food. I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, I love, of course, I appreciate when food looks like aesthetically, attractive and pleasing and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm literally gonna put it in my mouth and chew it up. So like, if it tastes good, I don't really care that much what it looks like. instead of being the Crossroads of America, we should call it the Bane of Pedestrians. Well, you know, to be fair, like, I think the problem, so what we're talking about in, as far as like driving versus walking, is absolutely not an Indiana like specific problem. I think that is very much an American problem. And, you know, I was thinking about it while I was on break there. It is by design. Like, you know, we have zoning and stuff like that. So the fact that you can't really walk to a store, you know, that's on purpose, because like they zone an area, this is residential, right? And then commercial is like over here. And you can't really mix them. Like by law, you're not allowed to build things that close. So like all of those shopping things and stuff that I'm saying that are like a 5-minute drive away, but more like a 15-20 minute walk away, you know, they can't be closer to me. Like, they're not allowed to be closer to me. They would not have allowed them to build them there. Because I mean, and this gets into like, right, conspiracy theory kind of stuff, right? Is it because they assume you will have a car, or because they want to force you to have a car? I don't know. I would not be surprised by either of those answers, honestly. But you know, honestly, Bit Decay, places like that, like Mass Avenue, honestly, I think they should just close it to traffic. Like, you should just decide, right? If you wanna be a walkable space, be a walkable space. You know, the mixing of cars and pedestrians is fraught. Set up free parking, yeah, that makes sense. You know, if you could have like a nice big parking area either at one end of Mass Ave or the other, or maybe in the middle, right? Let people park there, close Mass Ave to traffic, and just let people walk along, you know, all the businesses there. I think that would be great. You know, another thing, like all those outdoor malls, like Hamilton Town Center by me, for instance, I don't like going there, honestly, because since it's an outdoor mall, right, you got to walk from store to store, and when I do that, I always feel like I'm going to get hit by a car driving through. And when I'm driving through there, I'm always like trying to be hyper vigilant, looking for people, you know, who maybe aren't paying attention or going to cross not at a crosswalk and, you know, walk out in the middle of the street or whatever. You know, I just think it's like super duper dangerous to be mixing cars and people, you know, in that kind of density. So yeah, I don't care for that at all. I do feel like though that there are I think they're starting to figure out that they fucked up. Because I have noticed there's a lot of new buildings going up in and around town near me, and they are mixed use buildings where, you know, it'll be like in fact at the park near there's not the park that's right, you know, walking distance from my house, but there's another park that they built just like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, closer to the town square. They cleared like a huge chunk of the parking lot now, and they're building this great big, I think like 4-story structure, and it is, I think, the top 3 levels are all going to be like residential apartments. The bottom level is going to be like commercial shopping, and then the inside of the building is actually a parking garage. So I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it certainly addresses the issues that I've been talking about right now, like in the last 15 minutes, right? Like if I lived in one of those apartments, I could theoretically like walk downstairs and, you know, shop at one of the shops that are, you know, in the bottom floor of the building. My car can be parked in the garage. There's literally a park like right outside my building, you know, for like recreational kind of stuff. And there's a Kroger right across the street for grocery shopping. That's cool. Like, you almost don't need a car. Like, you could probably just, I mean, you would want a car, but you wouldn't need a car, right? Like, you could survive. You could live just with the stuff that was just in walking distance there. Now, obviously, there's plenty of things that you would probably like to do that you would need a car to get to, but whatever. Like, at least, like, the necessities you can walk to. Now, I will say, this is the somewhat more cynical part of it, right? I imagine that those apartments are going to be motherfucking expensive. So, you know, basically, yeah. It would be a great lifestyle, but it's a lifestyle that is being offered probably only to people who don't actually need it, because it's people that can afford a car and go places, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I wanna give us at least like half a check mark to kind of be like, okay, you're recognizing that maybe the urban sprawl was not the way to go, and that you're trying to, you know, bring things back, you know, into a closer, into, you know, a closer layout that makes more sense for people and helps people get around. And if we can get that for everybody, that will be great. But the fact that we're at least moving kind of in that direction, okay, I'll give you an E for effort. You're trying, right? But, so, anyway. Okay. Let's see, where are we at? We are hour and a half in, so probably another hour and a half to go. I should probably step things up if I want to get through like 30-ish songs on here. We're taking these long detours into random topics, but I actually I love that. It's super
Hello,
fun.
everyone. From now on, I will introduce basic control for Pump It Up. The basic
Oh, you don't. Oh, let me finish this song. I'll get right back to what you were just saying there, Bit Decay. I don't think you derailed it. I think I did that all by myself. and I saw your comment about like privacy concerns and stuff like that. And yes, I get you there. That is, I wasn't ignoring it. I just don't really have anything to say about it. It's like personally not something that I give a ton of thought to. I kind of operate under the constant assumption that privacy is just dead. I assume that the only things that are even remotely safe are the things that I keep entirely to myself. Certainly, as soon as I say it to somebody, even in confidence, I'm going to just assume that they're probably going to break that confidence. And God damn it, if I post something online, it doesn't matter how private I make that, that's busted. Like, I just assume that's busted, so I don't do it. You'll notice that like everything I do is always posted publicly because I just assume that's what it's going to be anyway. So I just like kind of shortcut that and just, you know, save you the effort. If I don't want you to know, I simply just won't post it at all. But I know that's not what everybody wants, and that's fine. But no, I don't mind like breaking off and talking about like random things and stuff like that on these streams. I mean, the whole point of this is to make it kind of a social thing. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Wow, new record!
You're heading out? Okay, well, I will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day, Bit Decay. You know, I was just thinking randomly, like skipping around topics, right? Rewind way back to like the beginning of the stream where we were talking about trying to upgrade to Double X or whatever the new version in 2023 is going to be. And it was said that they will probably, you know, sell out their remaining Double X kits for cheap or at a discount after the new game comes out. It just occurred to me, one of my kits, I can't remember which one. I want to say Fiesta 2 though. Like you could actually see on the label on the drive, there's another label under it from the previous game. So like my Fiesta 2 drive, you can kind of see that there's a label that says, you know, Fiesta EX on it or something like that. It could have been Fiesta EX and Fiesta 1. I can't remember which one it was, but clearly they just took one of the drives that they had already made for the new game and just re-imaged it with the and sold it. So I don't know how much of Double X they're going to necessarily wanna. I don't know how much they're going to discount or how much they're just going to, like, you know, just repurpose it, reuse it. Now, I guess if they have any marquees already printed, maybe they'll, you know, sell at least those to get rid of the marquees. But for all I know, they're printing those on demand. In which case, you know, it's no big deal for them. You know, they just basically recycle the drive and call it a day. Yeah. I don't know what people are going to do. I assume they're going to close the online services for Double X probably shortly after the new game comes out. I don't know how much time they'll give you. Maybe a month. But that's the big thing for me. Like I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, I don't want to invest, you know, over $1,000 into Double X if support for it is going to end in the next, you know, 2 months or something like that.
From now on,
If they'll give me a discount on it, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll just wait for the new game and then I'll find a used Double X kit somewhere else. Save some money. It's gonna be, you know, offline already. Nice. No stinkers so far. All these songs have been pretty fun. I've really enjoyed them.
That's the way to go! Wow! New record! Next stage!
Please play D18. That's way out of my range. Sorry. I will 100% fail it. I'm good up to a 14, maybe. I think there's like a tiny number of 15s I can do. Anything beyond that, no, not for me. Went from S3 to D21 in the last second. Oh man.
Yeah! I knew you could do it!
That's a nasty surprise.
Wow! New record! Next stage!
Pump it up, PRIME2. PRIME2. Right? Typo. Wow, that was some instrumental Eurobeat if I ever heard it.
Yeah, I knew you could do it! Wow, new record! Game over.
Let me refill this. Getting down to the end of this one already. Alrighty, I am back. Your most recent ventures in Pump was a full credit of Christmas songs? Well, there are a bunch of Christmas songs in here, so that makes sense. Yeah, we played Christmas Memories on the
Hello,
on
everyone.
the party stream a couple of times, I think, on Friday. I have to decide if I'm going to do a Christmas stream or just a video or what I'm doing. Because what, there's All I Want for Christmas, and then there's like Rolling Christmas. I want to say there's at least one more in an earlier game. I don't know if it's still in the game. I could be misremembering too.
Now let's just see what this sounds like played backwards.
Played backwards. Christmas tree. And a licensed song with Christmas melodies in it from, yeah. I know there's been a bunch.
New record!
Over the years. Over the 23 years now, I guess.
Mistake!
God, is this... I was gonna say, this felt like a half double or maybe even a quarter double. Because I hadn't noticed any center steps, but there are a few in there. Oh no, I guess it's a full double. A half quarter double. Hey Pat, this is not the last stream.
Wow!
I imagine there's going to be at least 2 more Prime 2 streams, and then there's some things on the horizon. We might get to do. We might get to actually pass Prime 2. Double X has gone from a no to a possible, but we're awaiting confirmation on that, but it's not out of the question anymore. And Pro 1 and 2 are also maybes at this point, so we may have some more to go. But I imagine this is going to be this is the first of probably three Prime 2 streams. 3 if you don't count the party stream last Friday. If you count that, 4 then. All right, I just want to see, like, can I manage a 14? Oh, jeez. A little bit too fast for me. Okay, that's what I expected, which is I could see how to do it. It's just a matter of, do I have the stamina to do it? And the answer right now, at least, is no. Would I do it? Maybe, probably.
Wow!
It would take me a little practice
Record!
to get there. Can't wait for everyone to request brain power. I mean, I would do it, right? Since I've been doing everything. Since I've been doing all the songs, there's no reason I wouldn't do it. Okay. So anyway, like I said, long answer, or short answer, I guess short answer now. No, this is definitely not the last stream. We've got at least 2 more to finish out, Prime 2, and then there might be some stuff later. Now, depending on when the later stuff happens, I might potentially break and do, UB and then come back to Pump. I don't know. It just depends on scheduling. I don't like to do that because it means tearing everything down and then resetting and then tearing everything down and resetting again. But if it makes sense to do it, I will do it. $19.49 doesn't have a chart lower than 19. Well, that might be one that we just look at then. You wish you could play some of the harder songs on a more reasonable difficulty. Yeah, I feel that. I guess turn off stage break and hope for the best, right?
Next stage. All approved. iTunes.
It was weird in the preview here. Since she's got black hair and the black background, it kind of looks like she has no head at all. Can't turn it off in public arcades. Yeah, that is true. Well, maybe you just find a kind arcade. Arcades in Germany. Yeah, I don't know what it's like in Germany, but to be honest with you, like arcades is a tough business. I think anywhere nowadays. Like even Japan is having a hard time keeping their arcades open, and they were, you know, post golden age, post like early '80s, right? Japan was certainly like the biggest arcade wise, I think, because I know the crash hit the US real hard, and you know we've got places like Boss Battle and on barcades and stuff like that that are, you know, popping up in the last decade or so, but they're kind of few and far between. And other than that, it's basically, you know, like Dave & Buster's, Round 1, that kind of stuff. You know, there's a decent number of those, but not a lot when you consider how big the country is, at least. So yeah, I don't think that's a Germany problem. I think that's just a world problem. Germany may be getting hit harder. Oh, good. This might be a little bit faster than I want it to be. Like speed mod wise. I also have to say, I always leave the backgrounds visible, and I like them, but this one is hard to read against because it's very bright, and the arrows are very bright too. And hello, Ahmad. Unless a fitness climbing center with a Step Maniacs counts. Sure, I don't know. That counts, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe not as an arcade,
Do it.
but at least they have an arcade game, right?
New record. Game over.
Yeah, I always try to keep I actually don't ever use like screen darkening or whatever because even though I'm usually too busy reading the chart that I don't really get to see the background that much anyway. Like I like that it's there. It kind of gives it character, gives it personality. I enjoy it. It's part of it. And I also feel like sometimes it's part of the experience of the chart too. Like it makes, that is part of the challenge. Just like, the different speed gimmicks and scroll gimmicks and all that kind of stuff. And that definitely felt like one where it's just like, I'm actually kind of having trouble reading this because it's just bright on bright on bright. And I'm like, where are the arrows going? Yeah, okay, that makes sense, Daniel, about laws preventing it. I know, I think that was a big deal about pinball, actually, in the US back in the day, too. But, shoot, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, and I can remember, in the 80s, man, like, you would just frickin' trip over arcades. Like every mall would have an arcade, like just without question. The mall would have an arcade. A lot of strip malls would have arcades. A lot of restaurants and convenience stores and places like that laundromats would have arcade machines, in their establishments. So, like, finding arcade machines was not hard. If anything, it was hard to get away from them. But, after the crash in the mid-'80s, and then from there on out, it just started, like, really falling off. And, by the time you got to the mid to late 90s, it was starting to get kind of difficult to find arcades. And that really kind of was the rise of the like the Family Entertainment Center, the mega complexes, the places like Dave & Buster's and GameWorks and Jillian's, and I'm starting to name ones that don't exist anymore, and Main Event and Latitude and whatever, all of those places that were like, yeah, we have an arcade, but we also have a bar and a restaurant and bowling and pool tables and karaoke booths and, I don't know, whatever, just all kinds of shit. Like, because you couldn't really make money on just the games anymore. You had to diversify, because, arcade cabinets went from being, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 in the 80s, you know, and you would pay 25 cents per game, right, to play them, and you know, you would, and really in the early 80s there were gosh, what was it? Was it, I can't remember if this was about Pong or Space Invaders or Pac-Man. Maybe all of them, but there were stories like in the, you know, early 80s of machines that would be out of service. And the reason they were out of service is because they were literally full. People had put so many quarters in them that the bin was so full that there was no place for the quarter to drop anymore. And so, like, if you put a quarter in the slot, it would just get stuck. Like, it had nowhere to go. And so, like, the game was out of service because no one could actually get credits on it anymore. Like, that's how popular these games were back then. And so, you know, if you're talking about paying off a, you know, a $2,000 or $3,000 game, a quarter at a time, when you're making that kind of fucking revenue, you know, yeah, I mean, that's a thing you can do, right? But nowadays, when, you know, games are $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to purchase, right? And a lot of people still have it in their head that they want to pay just a quarter for a game, right? But you know, I mean, obviously a lot of places are, you know, now charging $1 or $2 or even as much as $5 for a game of some things. But still, like, when you're trying to make back 20 grand, that's gonna take a minute. And you better have some other revenue source in the meantime, right? But so yeah, it's a tough business to be in. Now, obviously, like the barcades and you know, the more like classic arcades, places like Boss Battle, when they're dealing with like classic games, you know, the nostalgia factor. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this game from when, you know, I was a kid in the 80s or when I was a kid in the 90s and stuff like that. That, you know, those games you can get for a lot less, and you can make your business on a, you know, pure arcade model still, you hope. But you know, then the issue becomes, can you maintain the games? Because you're talking about 20, 30, 40-year-old arcade cabinets, you know, that were only designed to ever last maybe 5 years, and they're just breaking down because they're so freaking old. And in some cases, like, finding parts for them is very, very difficult, if not impossible, because it's just like, yeah, we don't make that anymore. So you just have to kind of hope that you can find another machine of that kind that you can scavenge parts off of, and hope that they're still working. But yeah, it's a tough business to get into for sure. And then, you know, if you have to deal with legal issues like you're talking about in Germany, I can totally see why it doesn't work. But I'm glad you have at least one place that you get to play. All right, let's see, where are we at? Got about half an hour, a little bit more to go. I hope I can get through these. Better keep moving.
Hello, everyone. Oh no.
Keep on keeping on. We'll take it. That's fine. This was 22 and I want to get through 29. I think I should be alright. Even though we went off on like a 20-minute conversation about public transportation, right?
우리는 서로 약속했어 모든 걸 다 주었잖아 모든 기쁨도 모든 슬픔도 모든 명예와 아픔도 생각해봐 그날이 오면 너에게 여기서 모든 걸 전할 거야 모든 걸 다 줄 거야 그대가 그리워 다시 나를 안아줘 힘을 줘 널 다시 만나는 그날까지 제발 둬 내 손을 잡아줘 끝없는 이 길을 내가 걸어갈 수 있게 정말 언제까지 할 거죠 말해줘 우리 꼭 다시 만날 거라고 제발 둬 내 손을 잡아줘 끝없는 이 길을
Going off on tangents are on brand. It is so true, Max. Sometimes I feel like this is basically just a podcast.
Wow! New record!
Hello, Space Dogs. Welcome to my podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to talk about whatever random shit we decide to talk about. Oh, and we might play some Pump It Up. I mean, you know, gotta keep it fresh, right? Also, hi. Hi. You skipped over some of these songs being unsure. No, I mean, when I'm in the arcade, I'm totally the same way. I have a lot of trouble sometimes, like, you know, I kind of get stuck on a few songs that I know I like, and I don't always try new songs. I usually, usually I'm always wanting to play freestyle, so I'm listening to songs and I want to find the ones that sound kind of danceable, but you know, it's been fun actually going through and just literally playing everything, because I've definitely ended up playing a lot of songs that I probably never would have tried otherwise and found them to be quite fun. So I'm actually having a lot more fun, you know, playing speed, playing more technical stuff, just because I decided to, than I probably would have otherwise. Like this. There's very little chance I would have picked this song in an arcade. But hey, and the Somebody Scream sample? Nice. Yeah, that was fun as hell.
Yeah, I knew you could do it. Wow, new record.
You know, like getting super sweaty at work or in public. Yeah, I feel that. And Daniel always chuckle when you recognize a sample from another song. Yeah. The somebody scream and the 1 2 3 4 5 6 do it. Man, those are so many songs between all of the different games.
Welcome to the grave. Are you ready to be brave? You are dancing slave. Feel that rhythm to the grave. Welcome to the grave. Are you ready to be brave? You are dancing slave. Feel that rhythm to the grave. Hit the music, coming to the rhythm, coming to the song, turn it up, pump it up, put your money to it. Put the feet up, we gotta hit 'em, baby, turn it up, burn it up, jump it up, put your rubber to it. Step away, I'm up to another dancer. Black eyes on, let's do the massive. Never stop moving if you gotta take a little break. It's one to be like the only one. So you're gonna drill 'em, now we're gonna feel it. Now we're never run, so we never kill it. So fast, make sure you vanish. Next time, we're restored to the Spanish. Then it goes dark, followed by a flash. Yeah, never time, finish with a crash. Sweating enough to go fill up a lake. You took 'em out like a piece of a cake. Here we go, we got the speed to hit 'em with the rhythm in the middle of a check a bit of beat 'em in the middle with the rhythm of red. I baby get a better with the chilling and the feeling and the brilliant. Yo, body, I'm a step up for the audience. Make move, make 'em happy with the body dance. Three sounds, you go with it with the shiny dance. Finish up your spin if you're going home with the money dance. Welcome to Pump It Up. Don't matter if you're off the ground. I be all popping up. Can your legs keep popping up? Welcome to Pump It Up. Don't matter if you're off the ground. I be all popping up. I said, can your legs keep popping up?
Nice. Very fun.
Wow, you're awesome.
Hello, Pichu.
Wow, new record.
All right, one more drink refill.
Game over.
Yeah, up and up. That was pretty cool. You know, seriously, like I said, don't get me wrong, like, you know, DDR was my first. I still love it. I had a super fun time playing it, you know, all of these years. But in the last few years, you know, like when I go to play, like DDR Ace or Ace 2.0 or 2.0 Plus or Ace 3, you know, I feel like I'm searching for songs to play, and out of every 3-song set, you know, I'm doing well if one of them felt fun. And the rest, they're not necessarily bad, they're just kind of like, well, there it was, cool, whatever. But man, you know, on this one, what have I played through, like 21 songs or something like that, or 24 songs, and like I've had a good time with basically all of them. And this is my first time really playing almost all of these songs, because I have not played Prime 2 that much in the arcade, and like I said, I have a tendency to kind of like gravitate toward the like K-pop and poppy, like pop channel kind of stuff, because that's the stuff that I really like. I really enjoy, and that usually is a little more danceable too. But man, this stuff has been fun. So yeah, Pump. It's been I feel like it's Oh yeah, Max. The same thing with Pump. Like the newer songs are also long. I mean, we've gone from both games where songs were roughly a minute and a half to now where songs are more like, minute 50, 2 minutes long. And it's, man, especially for old players like me, you feel it. Like you can feel that minute and a half mark where it's like, okay, my body's like starting to stop, and then you're like, nope, you got 30 more seconds to go, sucker. And it's just like, oh god, everything hurts. Those games are like that though. Pichu, not quite time for requests yet, but pretty close. Let's see, where are we at? So we just did Up and Up. So 2 more sets, and then I might get. If you want to throw out, a few requests, maybe one each, I can mark them down. I probably won't do a lot because I do need to end this stream right about 6:30, but I should have time to do maybe one request set. Sometimes breaks in the middle of a song are actually worse, though, right? Because your body like slows down and then it's hard to ramp back up again. This one isn't terribly hard, so it's not that bad. But I can imagine if it was on a harder difficulty and I got that break, I would probably fail after the break. Wow, there's some crazy crossovers in here. Definitely feeling like tripping on a few of those. And hey, Kieran, good to see ya. Yeah, I tend to always, like, whenever I get to a new machine, when a new game comes out, I try and make a point of playing new songs. But yeah, a lot of the newer DDRs, well, actually, to be fair, a lot of both games, like a lot of old songs have gone away. But I feel like DDR has lost more of them, or at least more of the ones that I cared about anyway. Oh, a 13. So, Daniel, I would actually prefer if you request songs that I haven't played today. So, basically the first third of the new songs in Prime 2. In fact, I mean, I won't say I won't play something from Prime 2, but I wouldn't prefer it, since I'm probably going to play it next time. But, you know, whatever. And Rhythm Bro, pick one of those. That's not Bad Apple, full song. I'm not going to play that. It's too long and it's boring. Since I'm only going to do probably 1, maybe 2 sets of requests at the most, if you could just limit it to 1 per person, so that more people get a chance, I would appreciate it. Well, I can tell this is a 13. Man, I'm running out of gas. All right, what have we got here? Let me start a note.
Yeah, I knew you could do it! Wow, new record! Game over.
Okay, so where are these? Where am I going to find these songs? URA, Creed, First Desire. Just let me know like what game it was in, so I can kind of find it a little quicker in the menu. Yeah, Rhythm Bro, you said you struggle on doubles since you can't really defer between the pads and the metal. Have you been playing on new style stages, the ones without the brackets? Because you're right, it's hard because everything's kind of level, which is great. Like it's awesome for freestyle. It's actually great it's also great for speed if you know where you're at. But if you're just learning, like you can't really feel it. You kind of have to look at it and figure it out. But I can see that. On the old style stages like mine, like there's a definite difference you can feel like in your shoes, unless you're wearing like work boots or something. Karen, you'd love to try doubles on Pump? You've never played Pump before? Well, I hope you get a chance sometime. I love Pump. Super fun. And I feel like Pump singles have as much motion as many DDR doubles, which to me is super, super fun. Okay, so video out C. Is in Prime 1, you say. Cool. Thank you. Intellion, hello, good to see you. You have to go to London to play it. Well, I guess next time you're in London, right? Yo, Ray A is Fiesta 2, looks like. Okay. Creed looks like it's Prime 1. Okay. Rhythm Bro, can you do more than one? Only if nobody else has one. I'm just trying to limit it to one a person so that more people have a chance, because I'm only going to do probably one request set. Because I need to wrap this up pretty soon, and I've got one more So I have room for one more request because I actually only have 2 songs left to go before I, last song request is my pick. Alright, well. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna do the last 2 songs that I wanted to get through.
Hello, everyone.
Because basically I've got these 2, and then that means I'll start the next, what do you call, the next stream will be like basically K-pop Paradise, right? And it's like this seems like a good breaking point here. Jesus, the easiest thing is a 15 single? Well, fuck me, I guess. Here we go. Hey, thanks, Pump Holds. Forgot to breathe. Well, it wouldn't have been a stage break pass, but I think it was a pass.
Yeah!
Damn, alright. Well, I mean, that's a 15. There are very few of those that I can do, so I feel... give myself a pat on the back for that.
Next stage.
That's a lot. This one's funny because it's in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it might be in 6. How am I breathing?
I knew you could do it!
Yeah, it gets tough. I mean, to be honest with you, playing on stream is a lot harder for me, I think, than playing in a public arcade, only because usually in an arcade, right, you'll play a set and then there's usually somebody that wants to play next, right? So you basically have to sit down or at least stop playing for a little bit. But here, unless I get talking about something, it's just like keep playing, right? One game right into the next and the next. And before I know it, I've played 9 songs in a row and it's like, right? So it's it can get to be a lot, for sure.
World of PIU. X-Gun Zone. Series. First to perfect selection. The original.
All right, here we go. And yeah, like all the games have tons of classical crossovers, because why not? Like, it's basically free. That stuff doesn't... that music is not subject to copyright anymore because it's 200 or 300 years old. And you can make your own version of it and you don't have to pay any royalties or anything. So yeah, of course they make that. Plus, a lot of those classical tunes are things that people, you know, even to this day, are familiar with and have heard, and so it's familiar. So why not use it? Yeah, Rhythm Bro, I got your request. It'll be next. I'm having a little trouble, like, shifting gears to slow down here. Free real estate. Yeah, basically.
Wow! Game over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even if they weren't dead, it's been long enough. Even with Disney extending copyrights for, like, basically a century, you know, when you're running into music that's 2 or 3 centuries old, well, yeah, there's no one left to enforce it, even if it was a valid claim. Daniel, you think about playing a slower song to end the stream? That's not a bad idea. We'll see what I come up with. We got 2 more requests, and then I guess player's choice, which is me. Have a good night, Max. Hope to see you soon. Alright, this is gonna be last game.
Hello, everyone.
Oh wait,
All tunes. World of PRX Dunzo series. First, the perfect collection. Original. K-pop. World music.
where is it?
Music.
There it is. Wow, I went the long way, I guess. Well, shit, I guess I'm out of... Well, can I get... Ha! Just made it. Have a good night, Pichu. I'm sorry I didn't get to your song. I think yours is next, isn't it? Oh, so much jumping. Oh, I did. Oh, yours was the first request. Okay, well, I'm glad I did it then. Who requested Video at Sea? Because that's the next one. I lost track. I got confused. Daniel, you did it. Okay, cool. Well, that's next. So here we go. Sorry, got confused. It happens to me sometimes. I saw that was this way, not far.
World music.
Yep, there it is. Oh, jeez. 14. I am no good. I don't want to try another 14. I'm just gonna stick to the 9. The S9. Oh, they uprated it a 10 on Double X. Dos Equis. Whoa! I caught my heel on a bracket. Yeah, I think it was fair to re-rate that a 10. 9 seems a little easy. A little too early. Or a little too low for that. Do I drink Dos Equis? I have.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
It's okay. It's decent beer.
Next stage.
Yeah, I kept getting my foot caught on the bracket in that song for some reason. Guess I'm getting tired. I'm not picking my feet up enough.
Series. Difficulty zone. World of PIU. K-pop. U2.
Bang, bang, bang.
K-pop.
What were you saying about like a slow song to go out on? Let's try this.
World of PIU. World of PIU.
I mean, it's not that slow, but it's slower.
쏟아지는 걸 이유 없이 쏟아지는 건 거울 속에 내가 저기 계속 아무도 그대 우리게 가두고 숨을 조르게 놔두고 난 행복했죠 내 맘보다 그대 숨이 먼저 먹겠죠 어둠 속을 걷고 있을 때 속에 네가 사로잡힐 때 내 숨이 같이 해 내게 손을 건네준 그 세상 속에 우리 내게 다칠 때 내 손을 바칠게 불을 지른 그대 소리죠 사람들의 눈 가림은 그대 모시죠 희망을 가라앉는 종이 펜가요 슬프죠 혹시 밤에 땀에 흠뻑 젖었겠나요 양심이 강해지며 버벅됐나요 눈물도 지워줄게요 그대 손이 내 손에 옮겨지고 믿어줄게요
All right. That was fun.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah, that video, you know, as soon as I picked it, I was like, oh, this video is a little rough, isn't it?
record.
I like the song, though. All right. Well,
Over.
that brings us to the end of yet another stream. Thank you all so much for joining me for Prime 2. Pump It Up Prime 2. That was a lot of fun. Getting to, you know, the first chunk of the first chunk of the new songs in Prime 2. A lot of bangers, right? Is that what you say? I'm old man. Hello, fellow kids. How do you do? Anyway, but how much prime crime will I commit on the next stream? Well, considering it's probably going to be basically all K-pop, I feel like a lot of prime crime. But anyway, like I said, thanks again as always for joining me. I will be back probably Friday, actually. I don't think I have anything else going on, so I should be able to come back Friday for another stream, and I hope to see you there for some more Prime 2. So, thanks again, as always. Till next time, have a great day, have a great night, have a great week, have a great life. All of those things. So, anyway, I will talk to you all soon. Take care.